I need to confess something. In my medical practice, I have seen moments where a simple hug created more emotional and physical impact than a kiss ever did. I have listened to women describe leaving relationships, questioning their feelings, and becoming deeply attached to men they never slept with. Not because of sex, but because of how they were held. One embrace, one calm placement of a hand, and suddenly she cannot stop thinking about him. Most men hug in a way that feels friendly, flat, safe, and forgettable. And that is exactly why desire never activates. But the man who understands how touch affects the nervous system does something very different. He does not just hug, he leaves an imprint. Her body feels something she cannot fully explain, but she cannot ignore. I am Dr. Emily Carter, and today we are going to talk about why touch, specifically how a man hugs, can create lasting emotional and physical desire, especially after 50. In this video, we will cover three things. First, why most hugs completely fail at creating attraction. Second, the biological triggers that turn an ordinary hug into something unforgettable. And finally, one subtle movement that keeps her thinking about you long after you are gone. This first section takes about 90 seconds, and it will completely change how you understand desire. If you value science-based guidance on confidence, connection, and senior health, make sure you are subscribed to Dr. Emily Carter. Senior health. Everything we discuss today is grounded in psychology, neuroscience of touch, and real confessions from women about what truly affects them. Let us begin with why most hugs are instantly forgettable. A woman can feel it immediately. There is a clear difference between a man who grabs her quickly and a man who draws her in slowly, steadily, and calmly. When a man rushes, her body reads urgency, insecurity, even nervousness, as if he's afraid the moment might disappear. But when he moves gradually, as if he already knows she will come closer, something very different happens. Her body softens before she consciously decides to. This is not accidental. Women are extremely sensitive to rhythm. Fast movements signal tension and uncertainty. Slow movements signal control, grounding, and confidence. When a man sets the pace instead of chasing the moment, he communicates safety. And safety is what allows desire to emerge. Here's the rule: never pull, never rush, guide instead. Place your hand calmly, apply steady pressure, and allow her body to move toward yours naturally. Move slower than you think you should. Breathe slower than you normally do, because when you slow the moment down, her mind speeds it up later. Replan it again and again. Once she is close to you, the next detail decides everything. Where you place your hand during a hug determines whether the moment feels friendly or unforgettable. There is a reason women react so strongly when a man's hand rests on the lower back instead of the shoulders. The shoulders feel polite, neutral, platonic. The lower back feels completely different. It signals protection, grounding, and leadership. From a biological perspective, this area is vulnerable. It is close to the hips, lightly protected, and rich in sensory nerves connected to emotional safety. When a calm, confident hand rests there, not grabbing, not wandering, just steady, her nervous system responds before her thoughts do. Her body reads the message instantly. I am safe with this man. And safety is the gateway to desire. Most men avoid this area because they are afraid of crossing a line. So they stay high on the back, where nothing is felt and nothing is remembered. But the man who places his hand lower, calmly, without hesitation, separates himself immediately. Here is the rule: Do not squeeze, do not slide, do not fidget. Place your hand firmly with relaxed pressure and leave it there. That stillness is what creates intensity. Now, this is where many men unknowingly ruin everything. They hug, pat the back once or twice, and release too quickly. To a woman that feels cold, like the man could not wait to pull away. But the man who holds the hug just 1 second longer than expected creates a psychological ripple she cannot ignore. Women are highly sensitive to timing. If you let go too early, it feels like rejection. If you stay just slightly longer, it feels like unspoken desire. That extra second forces her mind to ask a question. Why did he hold me longer? That question stays with her. Here is the rule. Do not cling. Do not tighten. Simply delay the release, 1 calm second beyond what feels normal. Then let go smoothly. That small disruption in rhythm is enough to turn a normal hug into something she replays later. And now we reach a layer most men never consider. When your face is close enough that your cheek or breath lightly brushes her neck, her body reacts before her mind can stop it. The neck is one of the most sensitive areas of the female nervous system. It is intimate, vulnerable, loaded with sensory receptors connected to emotional arousal. Most men avoid this area entirely because they fear doing something wrong. But the man who allows his face to remain close, not forcing, not hovering, creates tension so subtle and powerful it lingers for days. Here is the rule. Do not lean in deliberately. Let proximity happen naturally as you draw her close. Breathe slowly. Let warmth, not pressure, do the work. Then pull back as if nothing happened. That single brush is often enough to stay in her body long after the hug ends. Here is a mistake most men make without realizing it. They destroy the moment with words, they hug, and immediately say something. You smell nice. I missed you. Or worse, a nervous joke. And the second they speak, the charge disappears. Because silence is not empty. Silence is interpretive. When a man holds a woman in an embrace and says nothing, her mind fills the space. Women are deeply responsive to meaning. When you stay silent, you remove guidance, and her imagination takes over. She starts wondering, what is he feeling right now? Is he attracted to me? Why isn't he speaking? That uncertainty is not uncomfortable, it is stimulating. The hug where nothing was said is the one she remembers. Here is the rule. Do not narrate the moment. Do not explain yourself. Do not rush to reassure. Hold her. Breathe slowly. Let the silence do the work. Now let's talk about movement, or more precisely, controlled movement. Most men hug like statues. Arms stiff, hands frozen, safe, predictable. But even the smallest intentional movement can completely change how the hug is perceived. One of the most powerful moments is not during the embrace, but as it ends. When your hand slowly slides just slightly across the upper back or shoulder blade as you pull away, her body notices. That motion feels deliberate. It does not feel accidental. It feels chosen. And because it is subtle, her mind replays it, trying to decide, did he mean to do that? Here is the rule. Do not stay rigid. As you release the hug, allow one slow, intentional movement of your hand. Nothing exaggerated, nothing rushed, just enough to be felt. That lingering sensation often stays with her longer than the hug itself. Now we arrive at the most misunderstood principle of all. Every woman wants to feel both strength and tenderness. Most men choose one and fail. Too gentle feels uncertain. Too firm feels aggressive. But the man who blends the two creates something unforgettable. One arm firm around the back, grounded, protective. The other hand softer, calmer, more attentive. That contrast tells her something powerful. He is strong enough to hold me and controlled enough not to overpower me. That balance is deeply attractive. Here is the rule: anchor with one arm, soften with the other. The nervous system responds to contrast, and contrast creates desire. And now, this is the part that changes everything. The hug that makes her want you even when you are no longer there. It is not about holding longer. It is about ending first. When you release the hug before she is ready, you create tension. And the human brain is wired to want what is removed. If you stay too long, the moment resolves. If you end it early, the moment stays open. That open loop keeps her thinking, why did he pull away? Did he feel it too? Was he holding back? Here is the rule. Always be the one to end the hug. Not abruptly, not coldly, but calmly, decisively. That restraint signals self-control, and self-control is magnetic. There is one final detail that most men completely overlook, and it happens after the hug is already over. Eye contact. Most men release the embrace and immediately look away. Down at the floor, at their phone, anywhere but at her. And in that moment, the emotional imprint fades. But the man who holds eye contact for just one quiet second longer than feels comfortable leaves a mark that stays. That look does something powerful. It tells her the hug did not end when your arms did. It tells her you are still present, still grounded, still connected. Eye contact is vulnerability. And when it follows touch, it becomes electric. Not a stare, not intensity, just calm presence. Here is the rule. After you release her, stay still. Lift your eyes. Hold hers for one heartbeat longer than normal. Then let her look away first. That single second often stays in her body longer than the hug itself. Now let me bring everything together. It was never just about the hug. It was about rhythm instead of rush, placement instead of pressure, silence instead of explanation, restraint instead of need. When you draw her in slowly instead of grabbing, when your hand rests calmly on her lower back instead of her shoulders, when you hold 1 second longer than expected, when your face stays close enough for warmth, when you stay silent and let the moment breathe, when your hand moves gently as you release, when you blend strength with softness, when you end the hug first, and when you seal it with quiet eye contact, you are no longer just touching her. You are communicating, and the body understands that language far more deeply than words. The next time you hug her, try this approach. Slow everything down, lower your hand placement, hold 1 second longer, say nothing, release first, meet her eyes. Then notice what changes. Notice how she leans back in, how her breathing shifts, how she looks at you differently afterward. That is how you know it worked. If this changed how you think about touch, connection, and presence, tap the subscribe button and join us here at Dr. Emily Carter, Senior Health. Leave a comment below and tell me, which part surprised you the most? I read every comment, and your insight may help another man rediscover confidence and connection. Thank you for watching. Keep learning, keep growing, and take care of your health, physical, emotional, and human. I will see you in the next video.